guest tonight is Tim Vanstone. Thanks for joining us, Tim. You do have some experience with our new head coach. Tell me a little bit about your time with Todd.
He's been through it all. He's won a memories, played with so many talented players like Hosa and, he going to the Capitals organization. Like that guy's been through everything. So, I mean, just the wealth of knowledge that he had for me personally was huge because, sometimes you just need that different set of eyes to really give you that perspective that you need for sure.
What did you experience that year? Like with 18-year-olds not being the top kid, big age gap, and then heading to PA, you're going to run into another big age gap. So I always was curious what it did for you. What did the Legionnaires do for you?
Yeah, I think it was, well, first of all, we came in with a really good team. A lot of the guys that I played with in Bantam were playing the Legionnaires at the time and, trying to crack WHL rosters. So I think we had a lot of good skill and a lot of good people in that room too. And I think just from a Swift Current kid and, many others alike that weren't from this city, you kind of do get treated like a rock star, especially when, you get to the next level and you're going to play in the High-Plex and, you get matching equipment and you think that's the coolest thing ever. And, and we definitely did have a good support system in Todd.
I think you had quite a few WHL alumni, Zach Mackay's, Justin Spaggards. Who really stuck out that year that you wouldn't really think of? Like, was there anybody that didn't go on to, different hockey prowess?
Yeah, I can't really think of anyone that was, flew under the radar. Maybe Luke Grassel. I think he was a goalie that, should have gave himself some more credit because he stopped a lot of pucks for us. And he was also a great teammate as well.
In 2010, you played a few games with the Legionnaires. 11-12, you had 33 points. 2012, 2017, PA Raiders, 2 years as a captain. 2017 to 2022 with the Dinos, and then some time in the coast too. Like, you've kind of done it all, man.
I guess, especially understanding that, we were going to have this chat, it was almost more the fact that I wanted to get the message out that, even my career, I know I played 5 years in the Western League and just played 1 year midget. I think even now my route to go into pro was highs and lows, and it wasn't a route I thought that would get me to pro, and it was unique in my own regard. And I think every player has their own specific route that they're going to take. And I think just the young guys coming into the Legionnaires, I think you got to really stay in the moment and be able to commit to getting better every day. And there's a lot of outside distractions, whether that you're moving away from home or, you're dealing with school or, you have that outside noise of being a Legionnaire.
I know that, we've talked in the past about hockey and other things along the way too. But one of the things that really stuck with me when you told me a little story about when you got to Prince Albert about how it was really hard, like that first year, what your perception was of what it would be like coming in and what actually went on. I think that was just, just perseverance prevailed. I don't know if you want to touch on that a little bit for me.
Yeah, I mean, just like I said earlier, I think I was definitely guilty. And, when you are playing Bantam AA or AAA and you're scoring a lot of goals and you're having all the success and you go to the next level and it's midget AAA or midget AA or what have you, and you still have the success, and then you go to major junior or junior A and you're not the guy anymore. You really do have really two options, and that's either to kind of lick your wounds or kind of go after it and try and, get better. And there's going to be some times where you're probably going to kind of question your abilities and stuff. And I think that's just what every athlete goes through.
I'm sure you told me the story and it was about your trainer, and I'd like you to tell it again. It's one of my favorite when you were kind of down and out. You know what story I'm talking about?
I played major junior in Prince Albert and I played there for 5 years. So I grew very fondly to our equipment trainer, Dwayne Bartley. And so we call him Puff. And so, I wasn't scoring. My first year, I didn't score a goal. So it was funny. I guess it's kind of a two-part story, but he would, and I sat right, being the 16-year-old, I sat in the really bad spot of the dressing room. So his door was parallel to mine, so I could see him in the room. And he would take my stick and drill a hole in my plug, and then put like a charging outlet on it to like give me some to give me some good voltage to get on the ice. And then I remember in playoffs, and it's so funny to look back on now, but we were out of the P90 curve, and that's what I used. And I didn't play a lot my first year, so he came up to me very, very. He looked guilty, but I don't even know how you'd really explain it. Besides, his shoulders were really low, and he's like, "Hey, Timmy, you know what? I have a problem, and it's you're not going to be able to use the P90 stick because we haven't got that order yet. So, but the good news is you can pick any other curve. You just can't have the one you want."
I love the Chargers story. That was my favorite, I think, that you told me. But one of the other ones was it your trainer who said, came to you and said, "Hey, Tim, guess who's asking about you?"
Oh yeah. Yeah. So that one's good. And it was Dave Manson. So now he's coaching with Edmonton, but he was our associate coach in Prince Albert. And, he has a raspy voice, and came up to me after practice. And like I said, this is my first year. So I was a lot of jokes, but he was like, "Hey, Timmy, guess who's asking about you today?" And at this point, I'm 16, and I just need some sort of positivity in my life. Like, who is talking about me, Dave? And he came back to me straight face, "Nobody," and then walked away. So that one, I took that one on the chin pretty hard, but you can laugh about it now. So
I do want to ask you more about what is ahead in store for you. Kind of touched on Austria. Give us some details on that.
I started to find a little more success at the back half of this year and into playoffs, and then Trois Rivières, who is the Montreal Canadiens East Coast team, reached out to me and asked if I wanted to come to the last half of the year, and stepped in, and wasn't really sure if I was going to stay, whether I was going to do well, or whether it was going to be for a week or so. So I signed with them, and then I just kind of found my role and kind of played the way I needed to play to be successful, and I produced at a level that I thought was really good for my personal game, and was counted on in big aspects of the game, whether that be shutting down their first line. And it just kind of gave me that realization that maybe I had a little more in the tank. So team in Austria called me last week, and it was very fast paced and got the deal done pretty quick. But yeah.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tim. We really appreciate it.